Here with more. Ben Shapiro, editor-in-chief of DailyWire.com, and Richard Fowler, syndicated radio host and a Fox News contributor. Ben, I'll start with you first. You know, when you saw that show of solidarity, that the players linking arms, then the fans linking arms in support of the flag and our military, did you see this as a win for the president?
Yeah, I do think it was a win for the president politically for him. I'm not sure it's a win for the country overall because I think that the issue is divisive. But what it looks like from just a 30,000-foot view is that Colin Kaepernick and a bunch of other NFL players and former NFL players had knelt for the anthem. President Trump said he hated that and the NFL should do something about it. A bunch of the players, more of them, knelt, and now none of them are kneeling anymore. Now they're all standing arm in arm for the anthem. So it looks like Trump did something, and now the NFL reversed itself. That was a mistake on the part of the NFL players. They made a mistake by allowing Trump to polarize the issue in the first place. They never should have boycotted the anthem or knelt for the anthem. I said this all along. If they wanted to show they didn't like what Trump had to say, they could have just stood for the anthem next to the guys who were kneeling for the anthem, and that would have been that. But instead, they decided to leap over themselves and cut off their nose to spite their faces. It was a problem for them, and now they've had to reverse,
Richard,
and it looks like Trump made them do it.
I'll ask you the question so many are wondering, as, you know, this country loves football. We love sports, and we want to see game day come back, and we want to see the focus go back onto the game. Do you think the fun's going to come back this weekend?
I mean, I think it's unclear.
I think it'll take a little while. Sorry.
Let me get Richard in here.
I think we have to wait and see here, but I think we have a larger contextual problem outside of football, and that is if you look at the poll that Trace just talked about, and there's another poll that came out that shows that 82% of African Americans thought that what these NFL players did was bold, brave, and courageous, and 59% of Caucasians thought that these players were wrong. And when you take it by age, 59% of Americans who are under the age of 45 thought these players were right, and vice versa.
Hold on. So let's actually bring in and cite some of the studies that are going on here. Remington Research Group found 64% of voters agree President Trump and want players to stand for the anthem during these games. The survey also found 80% of voters want less politics in sports. 51% say they're watching less football than in previous years. Ben, isn't that what we're hearing? People just say, let's just leave politics out of sports.
I think that's right, and I think that it's important to note when Richard says that people are siding with people like Colin Kaepernick, they weren't back in September 2016. Right? In September 2016, 40%, according to Reuters, 40% of black folks, people of color, were saying that they didn't agree with Colin Kaepernick's protest. Today, that number's down to 13%, which shows you that a lot of this is a reaction directly to Trump, not in favor of Colin Kaepernick's protest.
That's not what I said at all. What I said is 82% of African Americans are siding with NFL players that kneeled on Sunday, which says to me that African Americans are saying that these players have their First Amendment right, just like you have your First Amendment right to speak.
Right, and we've had that discussion many times this week.
So these players have the right to kneel, and we should respect that right. And I think these players have been very clear. This is not about the anthem. This is not about our veterans. This is about protesting racial injustice. And if 82% of African Americans say they feel as though there's racial injustice in this country, clearly we have a problem.
The NFL is a business and it is a brand. And I will remind you of that. And, Ben, when you look at the ratings for Thursday Night Football on CBS, they were down 13%. You're seeing attendances dropping. Ticket sales so far are sort of unwavering, but there has been change in the wake of this.